Hey, human. Coach Nate here with another mindful focus to share with you today. In this post, it reads: A wise man was asked, "What is anger?" He gave a beautiful answer: "It is a punishment you give to yourself for somebody else's mistakes." Letting that soak in for a second, if you think of anger, it's natural. It's a human emotion. It's something that we feel, and at times that is healthy for us. Seldom is it healthy for us to deny, squash, ignore, push down, suppress, or ignore our emotions. Excessive anger, however, is not healthy for us. We can leverage anger to feel passions and purposes or injustices or things that we value, principles, things we stand for. And anger can push us into, motivate us into action and doing something um, to better things. Anger can also be a distraction, a hindrance. It can hold us back when we become so consumed with and focused on and enamored even with anger. It can become a trap, a pit, a cell that we put ourselves into, even a grave that does not serve us, that focus, that behavior. It can also rob us of our creativity, our problem solving skills, and our ability to solve problems because we're so fixated in this emotion that we're not able to activate the other parts of our brain that help us to navigate through. And it can even push us so far as to what they call flipping our lids, where we are not thinking clearly logically. We are so engrossed in this emotion, this singular emotion, that logic and wisdom and finding knowledge to apply and thinking things through and understanding and assessing, all out the window because we're just angry, mad, emotionally there. Um, this can become especially true. And if there's only one thing you take away from this, when that anger is derived from things that we do not control, namely other people's behavior. Know that little in this world do we control other than our response to what happens, whether that be happening to us or someone else or what occurs. Very little of the external do we have any control over. We're kidding ourselves. We can influence. Um, we may influence the cause, causation, um, but often very little external control. We have full internal control if that's a choice that we make, if we choose to be intentional about it. It reminds me when we talk about having logic and trying to manage through challenges and occurrences and situations. The pot of water on the stove. When the pot of water is on the stove and it's sitting there still, I can see my reflection in the face. I can see clearly. When the pot of water is boiling, the bubbles I cannot see clearly. And so that applies. I cannot see myself. I cannot see my reflection. I can't see clearly. That applies when we're dealing with situations that cause us to be emotionally upset, angry, mad, seething. Fill in the blanks. Lots of adjectives around that. That can be dangerous. Have you ever tried driving at night, not being able to see clearly, or the daytime? Walking when not being able to see clearly can be detrimental. So, in terms of the let go, live now, win, the how to let go, live now, win, know that others will use your emotions against you to weaken you or distract you or even disable you. They will take that anger that can be used to fuel a purpose and use it as a weapon against you. Don't give them the stick to crack your head with. Don't give them the weapon to use against you. There are those that, due to their own chosen behaviors, responses to things that they've experienced in life, trauma responses, or even insecurities, look to find your buttons and look to push those buttons to cause you to get off your game, to cause you to not be able to function. Just know that is true. Yes, there are people out there in the world that do that. Some are really good at it, and some of them get their jollies from doing it. Don't feed them. Don't be their source. Secondly, never make a consequential long-term, a decision that impacts the long-term when you are upset or angry. Truth be told, never make it when in any state of high emotion, be it glee, could be really happy and buy something, have no business buying, can't afford, shouldn't. Car salesmen use that all the time on us. It is, but we're focusing on anger here today, and that is not a good time. Better to take a step back, assess, fully understand, or seek at least. May not always understand another person's behaviors, but it can at least assess the situation and determine the best course of action for you, your mental health, your well-being, and what serves you. The one thing you do control. And very importantly, the second most important thing in this is let go of what you cannot control. If the door's locked, stop walking into it. If you don't have the key, that no amount of banging your head on that door is going to allow you in. If the burner is hot, stop putting your hand on it. And that's what getting upset and anger over things that we have no control is synonymous with walking into a door, or putting your hand on a hot stove, or just doing things that harm us. That's the plain and simple. Walk away. Let go. Easier said than done, yes. I'm not going to discount that to say, oh, it's just really, let that be your focus rather than the anger. And now you're moving into a place of personal growth and development and moving forward in that regard. Always look for the lesson in whatever happened instead of being upset over what happened. Look for the gain versus focusing on the loss. Look for what you can use and leverage to help yourself rather than focused on what was taken away or what hurt you. Because we all know what we focus on most is what we get more of. So if you want to focus on being angry, expect more anger to show up at your doorstep. You want to focus on forgiveness, love, empathy, kindness, caring, peace, well-being. That stork bringing that can show up at my doorstep any day, because those are priceless, that money can't buy. Just sharing some insights with you. Feel free to try it or toss it. Both of those answers can be correct answers, but only you can determine which of those are correct for you. If this resonates with you, feel free to give a like and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that you are made aware of when I post content like this. If you know somebody that this could help, do a kind act and share this with them, that it can help them in their lives and their journey forward. And most importantly, remember to let go, live now, and win.